Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services.
This show focuses on sharing good news and powering the good in our community. Now here's your host, City Current CEO, Jeremy Park.
Welcome to the City Current Show, powered by Higginbotham. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference and powering the good. And that's why we're excited to be with Cindi Younker, Director of Buckman Arts Center at St. Mary's. How are you doing?
I am doing great. We really appreciate this opportunity. I'm such a fan.
Well, when you talk about performances being open to the community engagement, but also education too, there's a lot to unpack. Let's start because it does tie in. Let's start with St. Mary's. Give us a little background on St. Mary's Episcopal School.
Yes, all the credit goes to St. Mary's because they were the ones to have the vision to bring the Buckman Arts Center to life. We are an all-girl Episcopalian-based school that serves the greater Memphis community. We actually added a division this year. So it used to be for SMP, which is our 2-year-old program, all the way through high school. And this year they started the Nest. Isn't that adorable? So they have babies now of some faculty members, and that's just a wonderful addition. Plus they just opened the new Moss Hall. So there's so much going on here. But at its heart, it is an all-girls school that is just really academically driven and dedicated to service and bringing up the most well-rounded young women. My daughter went here, and it's truly a remarkable place. There's many schools in the city that have performing arts centers that are on their campus, but they do not open their doors to the greater community. It's just utilized by the student body. And so for them to have this vision when Murdy Buckman came to them about creating a space for the broader community, we are really grateful that they have continued to honor that tradition. And we're going into our 28th season now.
Yeah, I was about to say, when you look at just the historical piece for St. Mary's, you look at 1847, so long legacy. Go ahead and give a little bit of the history and the backstory for bringing the Buckman Arts Center together.
When Murdy Buckman made the very generous donation to create this Performing Arts Center, that was part of the mandate, is that everything that Buckman did had to be open to first the St. Mary's girls, but then to the greater community and to Memphis. And they've really held true to that. And this is a time when so many performing arts centers are struggling to survive and curtailing their programming. So for St. Mary's to continue this support and this dedication is really, truly just such an honor. I've actually been here for 20 years, which is crazy to believe. We're going into our 28th season, but I've been here for 20 of them. I started out at the Germantown Performing Arts Center and then migrated over here. And it's just such an amazing place and a positive environment. And we are only 288 seats, which is so much freedom. It's kind of Memphis's best kept secret. But 288 seats is freedom. You can try something, and if it doesn't work, you just don't do it again. It's not as limiting. You would think it sounds limiting, but it's the most liberating part of sharing the arts.
Well, 288, I mean, we do a lot of events, and it's like that is a large enough crowd where you get the energy and the excitement, and for the performers, they can feed off of that. But at the same time, to your point, it's very intimate, which creates some really special moments. And it also does allow for, like you said, a lot of creativity and a lot of trials, and hey, let's try some new things. So I think the innovation, the entrepreneurial approach on this is really cool. So dive in a little deeper into how you start to build out your season. So let's go ahead and dive into what your season looks like, the business side of what you do.
Sure. Well, first of all, you absolutely nailed it. Every interaction there is shared between the artist and audience. I mean, there's no way not to. There's just everyone is involved in that intimacy. The furthest seat from the stage is 40 feet away. So you can imagine it doesn't take a lot of acoustics here because everything is just so pristine and, beautiful, beautiful acoustics. So when it comes to building a season, which is obviously our main thing, we bring 10 main stage shows to the Buckman every year. And these are artists that are internationally famous. We focus on contemporary dance. We focus on world music, a lot of acoustic music and folk music, and really kind of unconventional artists. For example, this year we have Popovich Comedy Pet Theater coming for 2 performances. These are all rescue animals. And when we bring them in, we're going to involve rescue groups within the community to come and hand out information. I actually got two of my cats from one of the rescue groups that was here last time we had them. So we try to find a wonderful way to connect and really make it resonate with the rest of the community. But a pet circus is a lot of fun. It may not be high art, but it's something that brings in people who may not have come to the Performing Arts Center. We also this year have Omnium Circus, which is a differently abled circus. So you might have someone who might be paralyzed from the waist down that's doing aerial work. Everything has sign language involved with it. They do a lot of sensory friendly performance. So it's going to be a wonderful way to highlight talents and really still give a jaw-dropping performance to anybody who comes here. So we try to curate when we create a season. We really try to balance, and we try to go across different age ranges and different backgrounds. We look for things that families can share. We don't necessarily do children's programming, but if you have a kid in your life, for example, the Underwater Bubble Show is a great thing that if you have a kid with you, they're going to love it. If you don't have a kid with you, you're still going to have a great evening. So we really try to create a balance between music, between dance, between sort of family events or things that are more visually appealing. And that's kind of where we start. We look and think at things that, of course, this is going to be a good driver. We know a lot of people are going to want to come to this. For example, Pure Prairie League will probably sell out weeks before the show, even gets here. And we try to balance it with something that may not be as well known, like Cantrip, which is an incredible group from Scotland. But it's somebody that we think this community needs to see, and they're going to benefit, and they're going to have a great time, and they're going to learn something new if they come. So that's really what we try to do. We've got Flamenco Vivo Carlota Santana, another incredible educational opportunity that is visually appealing, live musicians, live music, and you're going to have a great time if you bring a kid in your life or if you just come on your own. And then we try to tie in everything with educational outreach as well. But I've talked too long. I'll let you go on to your next question.
Well, touch on too from a staging standpoint, because musicians are a little easier. They bring their equipment in, they can patch into your sound system. When you talk about staging and aerial performances and things like that, you've got to take into account, okay, what's possible, what will work with our stage. So talk a little bit about that side too.
Certainly. Again, you are very wise. I'm impressed. We just had this conversation yesterday about sometimes the expense of putting on the show can be more than the artist fee. You're absolutely right. We have to hire crews to come in and pull off these performances. It's one thing to have Leo Kotke with a stool and a microphone. That's very easy to do. I mean, he's one hotel room. He is catering for one man. It's much more simple. When you bring in something like Flamenco Vivo Carlota Santana or Soweto Gospel Choir, who's coming in October. That's 18 people that are coming in. You've got to arrange the logistics. You have to have the hotel rooms. You've got to feed all them. And then you've got to be able to hang their lot plate before they get here. You've got to have sound reinforcement. We don't have the equipment on hand to properly mic a band that comes in. So we hire sound reinforcement to come in. We have crews that do all of this and that make it possible. We have an incredible tech team and a very hardworking technical director. And yeah, sometimes setups can be 2 days up and at least, a day down, and they can run over 24 hours sometimes. So it's busy, but it's very worth it. And obviously the first thing we do whenever we start to book an act is look at their technical rider to see if they're going to fit and to make sure that we can have them. One group we've been looking at, because groups are getting savvier now as they travel through, like we're looking at this aluminum show, which is it's exactly what it sounds. It's very engaging, and it's metal and reaching and puppetry and all sorts of things. And they are capable now of going to a bigger venue and then coming to Buckman. I realize my station in life, we are the smallest venue in Memphis and in the region, kind of. So we talked about planning your season. That's what I start doing, is really wheeling and dealing with agents and talking to them and trying to go, okay, well, you're going to Kansas City, then you're going to Arkansas, then you're going to Nashville. You'll make more money giving me a reduced artist fee and letting me pay for your hotel and your food while you're in Memphis and create a route. So that's why I'll do a Thursday night or a Sunday night. I don't always have to have the princess Saturday night, so to speak. But that makes it workable, and it makes it possible to see these amazing artists in the most intimate venue.
And it also, too, keeps you out of the competition of those major dates that everybody else is going and doing other things. So I think it actually draws some critical mass to those kind of normal outer liars, if you will, for, the performers to go en route to the next place, but also, too, to keep the audience here locally able to go to the event. So I think there's a lot of cool pieces, but I think that's why I like these sort of conversations, is it gives people a little bit of a behind the scenes glance at some of the things that really go on to be able to create these shows and these amazing experiences. And so Talk about, some of the ways that the community can get involved, because obviously, going to the shows, that's one piece of this. So talk about engaging the community.
Sure. Well, and I do have to say, because again, you're very perceptive. We really try to make coming to the Buckman an enjoyable event for our people. We are great for a date night. We're great for a girls' night out. We're great if you just want to come on your own. Most of our artists perform without an intermission. So you're talking 90 minutes in, and we usually start everything at 7 o'clock. And we have some incredible restaurants around this area. So people go to dinner before, people go to dinner after. We try to create like just a nice night out. And it's free parking, it's close, it's a good time. We have an usher program. When you talk about getting engaged, where obviously ushers get to see all the shows for free. They do a wonderful job helping us out, manning concessions and helping with merchandise and showing people to their seats. We have several different programs that we haven't even really touched on yet. All of our main stage shows, but we also have a world music series for kids ages 2 and up called the Magic Carpet Ride. That's meant to be an opportunity for children to have their first experience on the stage. It is absolute mayhem, but it's amazing. We try to engage local artists for that. It's sponsored by Sarkis Kish. They come into the lobby, they pick out their magic carpet, a little small oriental rug. They take it on the stage with their parents, and they actually get to be up close and personal with the artists who are performing. We have our opera Memphis that's coming in September. We're very excited about that. We're going to be part of their 30 days of opera. They're going to do the Playground King, which is their performance for small children. And then in January, we're welcoming Brad Bergdahl, who does he's a rockabilly artist. He's a legendary Memphis musician, and he's going to do sort of a 50s day for us, a history of rock and roll. So poodle skirts, leather jackets, that kind of thing. And the kids dress up. It's fun. We're doing Nutcracker, which will feature our ballet on our first magic carpet. We also have the Levy Gallery, which is we feature regional artists, and I think we have 4 of them each season. We just opened our first one with Carolyn Cates. They last about 6 weeks. Levy Gallery is free. We have incredible opening receptions with them, and it's a wonderful way for some of these artists to get their first real experience, or someone who might have ties to the community, have a nice intimate show. It is a pretty good sized gallery, so it's very professionally lit, and it's a lovely environment as well. And then we have a dance school, the Buckman Dance Conservatory. We started this about 6 years ago with 40 students, and we now serve 185 dancers representing 20 different schools in the community. And they perform twice a year. Everybody performs in our Nutcracker. And then we have a spring show that our advanced students help to create the concept of and write. And it's usually very fairy tale based, but it's a lot of fun as well. So there's a lot of opportunities to be involved over here at Buckman. And I mentioned briefly our educational outreach. We try to tie educational outreach to as many shows as we can. Yesterday, student ticket subsidy went on sale for I say on sale, it's not on sale. It's grants that are available to bring students from the Shelby County school system to our events. And we are already booked, which is a wonderful problem to have. This year's Soweto Gospel Choir will be offering a free workshop while they're here. We're going to be doing 2 shows, as I mentioned, with Popovich Comedy Pet Theater, and then Flamenco Vivo Carlota Santana and Omnium Circus both have school shows that will take place during the day, where we will bring children in by bus from the Shelby County schools. So we try to make this place as accessible as possible, and we try to make it possible for people to see themselves here. And we really look for those opportunities for families, especially, to share the arts for the first time, for the next time, for a lifetime together here. We also have a program that we started where we were offering free tickets for families this year. So all they have to do is get in touch with the box office, and we don't want price to ever be an impediment for anyone to attend.
Well, when you talk about first timers, for those who it would be their first time to go, talk about where you are geographically. So where is the Buckman Arts Center at St. Mary's?
We are right in East Memphis. We are on the campus of St. Mary's School. We're on the side of the campus, because there's 2 sides of the street, with the Church of the Holy Communion. So we're on the southeast corner of Perkins Extended and Walnut Grove. And again, plenty of free parking, very well lit, easy to get in, easy to get out. And it's just, like I said, just such a great date night. There's just so many wonderful restaurants and places to go around here. We just try to make it as much fun as possible.
Well, you've talked about the season, you talked about volunteer opportunities, you talked about the education, the dance, and all that. Talk about funding. So, obviously season tickets that helps support financially and underwrite all the performances and everything you do, all the education, the outreach. But Talk about that piece of it in terms of how the community can help fund the shows and be a part of them.
Absolutely. And I've yet to do this, and I've noticed other performing arts centers do. Again, we really want to try and stay accessible. So I've never had a ticket that is more than $45 a piece, which I guess is kind of crazy. I bought tickets to another performing arts center in town because my son is very into music now. And the cheapest seat, I shouldn't say cheapest, the most affordable seat they had was $75. I just mentally can't get past putting it above 45, maybe one day, because again, I want it to be accessible. So ticket sales definitely do not cover artist fees. You're 100% right. I write a lot of grants. So grant funding does help, and that supplements the artist fees for many of our, especially the ones that have educational outreach that are coming in. But at the end of the day, it's fundraising. At the end of the day, it is finding local sponsors. It's finding the individuals who really truly care deeply about the arts and that want to keep these opportunities alive. That's who makes it happen. And everything is on our website at buckmanartscenter.com, all of our information. But yeah, it takes those donors. It takes those very special, amazing individuals that just know that this is a special place. We have what we call our curtain club. So these are our during our curtain speech, whenever, and I try to keep it brief because there's nothing worse than somebody talking too long. But anyone who donates $1,000 and more gets 2 tickets to every performance, and then they're included in our curtain club list. So we list off and we thank all of them before each show. So it's a nice little shout out that makes you feel like, yes, you're engaged, and yes, you're a part of this beauty and this intimate interaction that's going to happen, like I said, between that artist and between the audience, because it's always a once in a moment sort of performance. Like you just don't know what's going to develop and what's going to happen. And it's a beautiful thing. I don't know that I want to be anywhere else. It's just so lovely to be in such a nice space.
Well, Memphis was built on the arts. And so I think when you talk about the importance of cultivating and supporting the arts, that's exactly why this conversation is so important. So you mentioned before, but mention again, because you never can say it enough in the world of media, but the website, any social media, where do we go to be on the up and up for the season, to get involved? Where do we go?
Go to buckmanartscenter.com. Everything is there. We're also on Facebook and we're on Instagram. Find us there. All of our dates and all of our shows are promoted there, but you can get information about the Magic Carpet, about our upcoming Levy Gallery. We have a lot of rentals here as well. When we don't have things when school's not using the space and when we're not using it, we have a lot of people, especially dance recitals, that take place here. So we have a lot of traffic that come through our doors, but it's amazing to be this, best kept secret in Memphis situation. We don't want to be. We want to share that. We want people to come in and discover it.
I was about to say, we don't want it to be a secret. So, Cindi, thank you for all you and your amazing team do to power the good. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you so much.
Higginbotham Insurance and Financial Services is proud to power the City Current Show. We're a people-first company that protects what matters most, the families, businesses, and trailblazers that keep our community going. As one of the nation's top independent insurance firms, Higginbotham is a single-source solution for business insurance, employee benefits, HR services, and personal insurance that's customized for you. We're here to serve you, the people you care about, and your community. Call 866-377-1959 or visit higginbotham.com.